Okay, this meeting is being recorded. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Zoom very basic. Difference here is I'm trying to teach you about a tool while using the tool. So when we started about a week ago trying to go back and forth between Ashley and myself, we learned that we weren't able to show y'all a lot of the control features and the tool features while we were using Zoom. So you're going to have to excuse us. There are some short little videos that will play at certain points throughout the lessons so that you're able to see all of the functions that we want you to see. So that being said, I am going to share with you, just like for screencasting, we made one kind of master document so that if you just want to watch today and not play along with us, you can go to this master document later, and there are videos for every step, there are tutorials for every step. If you have a colleague that wasn't able to make it today, feel more than happy to share that with them. Okay, so what I'm going to do to start is share my screen, and then I'm going to play you a short video on how to start with Zoom. Okay, so I can show you where we are. That document that I just shared with you, we're starting right here with videos by Dr. V. So if you want to come back to reference this, you can.
Hi everyone, this is an intro to Zoom video. We weren't able to do this live because I'm not able to show you the administrator side of Zoom that you will have to use while we are actually on a Zoom call. So that's the reason for the screencast. What you do first is go to my.nichols.edu. If you're having issues with this, make sure that you email the help desk at nichols.edu, and then you'll select Zoom. When you come here, we're going to go ahead and sign in to your account. When you do this, you'll see the administrative side of your account that is attached to your Nichols email. So what you'll want to do for your first meeting is go ahead and schedule a new meeting. I'm scheduling tomorrow's live Zoom training right now. So Zoom training for NSU faculty. It's going to start at 2 o'clock, so I started it then. It's not today, though. It's tomorrow. And we're going to say that we're going to have it for 2 hours, just in case anybody has a lot of questions. If you're going to have your class reoccurring, for example, my Ed 250 class will meet live every Tuesday, you can have it as a reoccurring meeting. That way students will always sign in with the same link. If not, it's not going to be a recurring meeting. You're going to automatically generate a meeting ID, and I do recommend having a passcode. The reason is if somebody ever got your meeting ID and they could join in on your meeting, but if you have a passcode that you only give out to your students, then they won't be able to join. I always have a waiting room in case some of my students get on early. I always say that I want to start with my host video on and my participants video on. And then if you would like to, you can have it to where the students can join audio only via telephone, which is very nice if they don't have a very strong internet connection. So I'm going to enable join before the host in case I'm late getting on or just on time getting on. I'm also going to mute participants upon entry. As you've seen in some of our live Zoom sessions, there can be a lot of feedback when doing this. For tomorrow, I'm going to have an alternative host of ashley.burck@nichols.edu because she will be presenting with me. And I'm going to say save. After that, you can automatically start the meeting, or if like this, you're waiting for tomorrow, you can invite students, or in this case, faculty, to the meeting. So there's 2 ways to do this. If your students have never used Zoom before, Zoom will give you a copy invitation where it has all of the instructions on how to join either via Zoom on your computer or to dial in. If your students have already used Zoom before, you can simply copy and paste this link for them. I'm going to copy the invitation and send it to you guys for our tomorrow's session. And then after that, you can delete this meeting, save the meeting as a template, edit the meeting, or start the meeting. If you start the meeting, then it will automatically pop up with your video and your audio and ready to go. I hope this helps and y'all have a wonderful day.
Why does your voice always sound so different? Ooh. Bus driving is too much. I apologize. That was the next YouTube video on after mine, I guess. So that is, do we have any questions on just easy, how to start, how to schedule, and how to send out the invitation to your students? Do we have to individually email all students? What I do is I go through Moodle. So I copy that invitation link, just highlight it, right click copy. I go through Moodle and I do quick link and I'll email it to all my students that way. Okay, you can also post a direct link on Moodle. I think Nicole showed us that the other day. Now Zoom and Moodle kind of talk to each other. So in Moodle, correct me if I'm wrong, please, Nicole. In Moodle, if you do, just like you add an assignment, you can add a Zoom and you can put the information in there. And it should one click for the students up to Zoom. Am I correct there, Nicole? Yep, okay, awesome. Okay, so if there's no questions on that, we are gonna go right to the next step, which, ooh, I lost it. I'm so sorry, guys. Hang on one second. Have to get back to our launching document. I'm sure Ashley's entertaining y'all with some nice backgrounds. Okay, so the next we're going to talk about how to record the meeting, and that's the last video that y'all will have to watch. And then we'll go back live with how to save the meeting and how to upload it to YouTube. So we're going to go right here. This is a real short one.
Hi, it's another video to show you how to record and save your recorded Zoom sessions. So this is your screen when you're on a Zoom call. Go ahead and click record.
We can't see
my computer, just like I do my screencast.
Dr. Vavasor.
Yes, up here at the top.
You can't see your screen. You're not screen sharing.
Share your screen.
Oh, y'all. Apologize.
Can't do it.
Hi, it's another video to show you how to record and save your recorded Zoom sessions. So this is your screen when you're on a Zoom call. Go ahead and click record. I record to my computer, just like I do my screencasts. You'll see up here at the top, the red light will be blinking if you are recording. You can pause a recording if you have want to in your class, or you can stop the recording. We're going to stop it.
Okay, and that is it for recording. Easy as that. So what I'd like to do now, if there's no other questions on that, is I would like to show again how to put a video onto YouTube. If you are in my screencasting, this is the same procedure as that. Questions, I posted on Moodle, yes. Another idea, if you set up a Google Calendar, one button to the whole class, absolutely. So if we're recording on campus, classroom computer, should we record to the cloud? That's an IT question, Ashley. I don't know how much storage to the cloud that we have for Zoom. I'm not sure if we have unlimited storage as a university or not. I know that when I'm in Polk Hall, I still save it to the desktop. I will then drag it over to YouTube like I'm about to demonstrate, and then I'll erase it from the desktop. So that's not giving, we talked last time about where the burden is, where the digital footprint is, so it won't be on that computer. So I save it to the desktop, I upload it to YouTube, and then I erase it from the desktop. So we are going to share my screen again. And what we're going to do right now is look at this video. I just pulled one of my old videos from presenting, and we were giving out door prizes. So we did a little Oprah, you get a prize from kids at a local school drama club. So we are going to use this dummy video. Remember, connected to your Nichols account is this called a waffle, and connected to this is your YouTube account that is connected to your Nichols account. So again, to upload this to your Nichols YouTube page, all you do is create, upload a video, and then it's as simple as dragging and dropping it. There it is, just like in an email. Once you drag it and drop, again, rename it. This is the picture that will appear. They'll automatically do this. Playlist is something that I do encourage. You'll see here that I did a Zoom training playlist, a UL system training playlist, and that's one of my courses playlists. So we're going to add this one to the Zoom training. I always put it's not made for kids, and you will see that this is the link that you will have to put on Moodle to share with your students. So if you right click it and copy it, then you can next. I have all of mine public. That's up to you for your content in your classrooms. If you want it private, unlisted, or public, I don't mind anybody learning my tech tools from me on YouTube. So I make mine public, and here's the link. Here's one touch things that where you can share your YouTube video, but we're gonna wanna share it to Moodle. So this is the last little thing that I'm gonna show you guys before I turn it over to Ashley. We're gonna go back over to my NSU. We're gonna sign in. We're gonna go to Moodle. And what you're doing here is the same as you do in any other class. This is one of my dummy classes. You turn the editing on, you add an activity or resource. All you're doing is adding a URL, and you'll copy and paste the link to your YouTube video that you just created in there. Okay, so that is the very basics of Zoom. Ashley is going to get into more fun things on Zoom after we go through these questions. Let's see. Yes, Ashley. Everyone does have a YouTube account in Nichols. You just have to make sure that you're signed on to your Nichols email account, because the Nichols email account is actually a Gmail account. So all of these tools that we're using, what Dr. Dempster said about Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Slides, YouTube, all of this is connected with one login through your Nichols email account. I had a lot of success with the cloud recordings and links provided by Zoom. Is there a reason to use one or the other? It's just preference, Dr. Salmon. This is actually an independent study class I'm doing with somebody, Carla. Okay, no more questions. I'm gonna turn it over to the brilliant Ashley Burke, who is finishing up her master's degree in educational technology leadership now, and she is gonna show you some fun stuff to do with it. Okay, take it away, Ashley.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. I'm going to start sharing my screen. Hold on. Okay. So we do have some basic stuff like want to take classroom attendance. Here is a PDF that I made that just shows you how to do that. You do need to log in through the my.nichols.edu address to do this and go into your admin settings. By the way, I'm just going to say that my internet is a little unstable, so hopefully I don't get kicked out of this. And there is a link to this Google document, by the way, in the chat box if anyone wants to view it and come back to it later for their reference. Also, you can see up to 49 people at a time in the gallery view. And if there's more than 49 people in your gallery view, there's a little arrow where you can scroll over and see all of the different users. And I did a pre-recorded video on how to use breakout rooms. I'm going to turn the host back over to Dr. Vavasor so that she can play this video for me. On 1 second. Okay. I can't hear you.
Okay, I'm back. And we are playing. We're sorry for all this back and forth, guys. It's a little hard for tools when you're using the tool. Okay, Ashley, which one are we playing?
The breakout rooms.
The breakout.
Keep scrolling.
Got it.
We're going to cover breakout rooms, but before we can use breakout rooms, we need to make sure it is enabled in the web browser. I'm going to start by going over to my.nichols.edu and clicking Zoom. Next, I will click Sign In to configure my account. After I'm signed into the Zoom web portal, I will click on Settings over here in the left-hand column. Make sure you're here on the Meeting tab. That's the first one. Then scroll to the bottom and look for breakout rooms. Make sure this setting is checked to on. I'm also going to click on Allow Host to assign participants to breakout rooms when scheduling, and click Save. I did want to make a few key points about managing breakout rooms. This is from the Zoom support page. This link will be included in our document. You can manage up to 50 separate sessions while using Zoom breakout rooms. The meeting host can choose to split the participants of the meeting into these separate sessions automatically or manually, and you can switch between sessions at any time. There are some limitations. Only the host can assign participants to breakout rooms. The co-host can leave and join any breakout room only if they join a breakout room assigned to them by the host. While you can create up to 50 breakout rooms, the maximum number of participants in a single breakout room depends on the meeting capacity, number of breakout rooms created, and if participants are assigned during the meeting or before the meeting. These numbers only apply to breakout rooms created during a meeting. Up to 200 participants can be pre-assigned to breakout rooms. And here's a little table that they make where you can see how many participants and how many rooms. Now that I've enabled breakout rooms, I'll go back to my.nichols.edu/home and click on Zoom. I'm going to click on Host a New Meeting. Now that Zoom is open, you can see that breakout rooms is here on the bottom. If I click on it, it gives me options to assign participants into a certain amount of rooms. I can either do this automatically or manually. This meeting is just me right now, so I don't have any participants to assign, but if I did after I make my options. I would then click on Create Breakout Rooms. You can also pre-assign participants to your breakout rooms before the meeting starts. To do that, you need to go to my.nichols.edu/home and click on Zoom. We'll go to Sign In to configure the account. In order to pre-assign the breakout rooms, we will need to schedule a new meeting. While you're scheduling your meeting, at the bottom, there is an option to click on Breakout Room Pre-Assign. Here you can click on Create Rooms. I can then assign participants to rooms by adding their emails, and I can create up to 50 breakout rooms and assign up to a total of 200 participants.
Very good. And what I personally like about breakout rooms is when, oh y'all, the next video. I apologize. That's for all know that if you're doing a YouTube video, you need to make sure that the next video is not preloaded like that one was. I apologize. Personally, what I use the breakout rooms for, I teach the Intro to Education class. So we have different majors in that. We have students that want to major in birth to age 5, grades 1 to 5, and high school. So I pre-assign these groups depending on what they want to teach, and then I save it as a reoccurring meeting. That way, every time I meet with this group of students, they have the same little cohort groups that they get together to discuss the assignments. So if you have different majors in your class, that's one idea. Okay, I'm going to make Ashley the host again. Take it away.
Okay. Let me go back to sharing my screen, which, fittingly enough, the next part is screen sharing, which is pretty straightforward. If the setting is turned on for you to share, if you're a participant or if you're the host, it should be at the bottom. And then when you click on screen sharing, it'll give you the option to just straight up share your screen. If you have a dual monitor, you can pick which monitor. I will say though that I have a dual monitor set up, and sometimes when I try to share my second monitor, it kicks me off. And I know that Dr. Vavasor was trying to share with a second monitor earlier and there was no sound. So just make sure that's something you test beforehand if you do want to use dual monitors. It's a little sketchy. It doesn't always work. When you share your screen, you also have the option to do a whiteboard, which we'll go over in a little while. And then you can also do a secondary camera. I added a link right here if that's something you're interested in. That might be helpful if you want to set up a camera like on an actual physical whiteboard or something else that you're demonstrating. I wanted to throw in here that you can still host classes from your mobile device, but there are some things that you're not going to be able to do. You can't create or launch polls. You can't do breakout rooms. You can't control who shares their screen, and your gallery view is definitely going to be limited. One of the things that I could not demonstrate live because of sharing my screen is the backgrounds. So I just, this is from a Mac. All I did was go to the top and click Preferences, and in the virtual background tab right here. And then once you're in that, there's a little plus, and anything that's downloaded on your computer, any sort of images, you can upload and use as your virtual background. It has an option to click on green screen. If you have that, that does make it a little bit better. I included a link right here to Amazon if that's something you're interested in. And then a few tips, make sure your face is lighted. Don't wear something that's the same color as the background, because then it's just going to wash you out and look really weird. And try to pick a high photo. If you're interested in using that, there's a link. And the next thing we're going to go over is polling. I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Vavasor because I have a video that I made. Okay.
Okay, and another, just to show you a little more about the virtual backgrounds, because I know a lot of people were really excited about this. We can't show you how to start the virtual backgrounds while we're live, but we can show you what it looks like once we're in setting. So I'm in my settings right now, and what I did was I went on the internet and I said, cool virtual backgrounds for Zoom. And I right-clicked and I saved them to my desktop in a folder. After you do that, you go to virtual backgrounds in your setting. You add an image. You can also do videos. I found those kind of distracting. Of course, Baby Yoda and the Brady Bunch is kind of distracting too, but you can add all of the ones that you find, and they will all stay here in your little queue, and you can just change your backgrounds whenever you want within a classroom. So, okay, Ashley, which one are we sharing now?
Polling.
Polling. Okay.
Let's start by going to my.nichols.edu/home and clicking on Zoom. I am going to click on sign in to configure my account. Once you're logged in, we have to make sure that polling is turned on for your user account. First, go to settings over here in the left column. Make sure you are on the meeting tab after clicking on settings and scroll down until you see polling. Right now, this is turned off for me, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. After you've turned on the polling setting in your account, click on the Meetings tab on the left side and make sure that you have a meeting scheduled. If you don't already have a meeting scheduled, go ahead and do that, and then click on your scheduled meeting. After you've clicked on the scheduled meeting, scroll down to the bottom of the page, and you can see the option for polls, and I have not created any poll yet. Let's go ahead and add one. We'll enter a title. I don't want to make it anonymous. You see that you can do single choice or multiple choice. I'm going to go ahead and add another question. Okay, so once you've added your questions, go ahead and click Save. And there is your poll ready to go for your meeting. There are some different ways that I can start this meeting. The first is I can click on the meeting from my Meetings tab in the Zoom client browser. You can see that the meeting popped up from clicking on that link. Also, if you want to log in from the my.nichols.edu page, go ahead and click Zoom. Do not click on host to start a meeting because that starts a brand new meeting, and we need to join the meeting that you've already created with your poll. So let's sign in to configure your account, and you can see the scheduled meeting. and then this is how you need to start it. Now I am the host of the meeting, and I've invited myself via my telephone to be another participant, and I have the audio and video turned off for both because obviously I am pre-recording. Let's go ahead and launch our pre-made poll. You can see here on the bottom there is the button for polling. I'm going to go ahead and click that. Here is the poll that I made earlier. Let's say I want to edit my poll before launching it. I'm going to click here on edit. Zoom launches the web browser, and you can see that this is to add a second poll. So this would be a new one. It would not be the one I've already created. So if you want to do another poll, here you go. I'm not going to, I'm just going to hit cancel. You can edit your poll during your meeting by going to the meeting in your web browser, going to the poll that you made, clicking edit, and making any changes necessary. Once you're finished with that, let's go back to Zoom, and I can launch my poll whenever I'm ready. You can see that they have in progress time, and whenever I want to end the poll, I go here. You can see a summary of the poll here with the option to share the results or relaunch the poll. If I click share results, then this box pops up where everyone can see what the results of the poll were. Once I've ended my poll, you can go back to your meeting in the web browser. You can see it says poll is ended. If I click this arrow here, it does a drop-down menu where I can view the results. And there you have it, Zoom polling.
Thank you, ma'am. I think one of the biggest takeaways for this, for polling and for breakout rooms, is if you don't go to the mynichols.edu and enable polling and enable breakout rooms, then you won't get that item on the bottom of your bar in order to do it. So that's one of the common questions is, oh, I saw that it was on the bottom of your screen, just like you record a meeting, I want to do polls or breakout rooms. Well, remember that you have to go enable polls and breakout rooms within Zoom in order to utilize those.
You can also use polls to take attendance during class. If you don't want to use the registration report, that's a good way to see if students are paying attention or, you know, if they're even there, and then you can go back later and view the report.
Somebody's talking about a green screen. When I first started doing green screen, y'all, I went to Walmart and I got a cotton sheet set in a green color, worked like a charm, cost me about $10. I duct taped it up behind myself and it worked perfectly. Please remember though, whatever you're wearing will impact the green screen. If you are wearing green, you will be a floating head, which is kind of cool. But if you are wearing green and you're using a green screen on the background, you will not be able to see anything that's green on your body, so you will be a floating head. Okay, Ashley, handing it back to you.
You don't have to make me host for this. If you just want to go ahead and play the next video for digital whiteboard, you can do that.
Keeps popping up. So Zoom has made a lot of improvements since the pandemic. And this next feature that Ashley's about to show y'all is probably my favorite. And it's how to use a digital whiteboard with Zoom. And it's still got some kinks to work out. If you get frustrated easily with technology, you may want to wait another month or so while Zoom irons out the kinks. But it has great possibilities.
Let's get started on how to use
We
the
can't see it. Can you share your screen?
Oh, good thing I don't work with technology.
Zoom. I started a meeting on my desktop and I'm the only person in the meeting right now. However, I would like to be able to use the whiteboard feature wirelessly with my iPhone. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I logged into my Zoom account with my Nichols email address. And just to make it easier on myself, I'm going to send myself the meeting link to my phone. So I think the easiest way to do that is go to Participants, Invite, Gmail. A browser window pops up where I send myself the email link. I'm going to hit send. Now the email has been sent to my phone. I'm going to go ahead, hope you can see this. I'm going to go ahead and click the link and join the meeting. Okay. I left the video off so that you wouldn't see two Ashleys because that might be a little overkill. All right. Now that I am logged into Zoom with my desktop and with my iPhone, I am using the same account for each one, which is ashley.burke@nichols.edu. I'm going to go here to share screen and click on whiteboard. Here, the whiteboard has popped up in my desktop and it is also on my iPhone. So from my iPhone, there is a little pin. I'm going to click the pin. And now I can start drawing on the whiteboard from my phone. It would also be easy to do if I have a little stylus. It's just a little more precise than your finger. I would like to add that you can certainly write on the whiteboard from your desktop. It just might be a little weird with mouse, and you might prefer drawing with your finger or a stylus on your phone or an iPad, whatever you can connect to that has an internet connection. There are some basics on how you can use whiteboard through Zoom, specifically with your phone wirelessly. Let's get started.
Very good. Ashley, I'm assuming this is my turn now?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm really excited to share this feature with y'all because it's much easier than what Ashley just demonstrated. And I know a lot of my math teachers are really worried about whiteboards and connecting. So I have my phone. Ooh, you can't see with my virtual background. I have my phone. I also could have my iPad. I have the regular lightning cable that's used to charge my phone, right? All you have to do with Zoom, just like you can share your screen, you plug it in. I'm going down here to the same share screen button, and it says iPhone, iPad via cable. And now you guys are able to see my beautiful children on my screen. Very cool. Dr. Dempster showed us Jamboard the other day. You can have the Jamboard app on your phone. Goodness. On your phone, and you can turn it sideways, and you can use a stylus or your pen in order to write on these. Remember what Dr. Dempster told us, that you don't need to create new jams every time. You can simply turn the page and you can share these with your students. So I just wanted to let y'all know about that new feature. That being said, Ashley and I have been playing with this for a few weeks now. I have 6 iPads over here with my kids and my parents and all the iPads I could find, and about 12 wires, and there is no rhyme or reason why some work and some don't. The phones seem to work every single time. The iPads seem to work about 75% of the time. They're all the same version of an iPad. They're all the same cord. It's just new technology that they're ironing out the kinks from. But it is very simple if, especially with math teachers, you need a way to use a stylus and annotate on a live classroom, just the regular wire, and share just like you're sharing your screen, and it says from a wired device. Does it work with Android? Good question, guys. Yes, Ashley said that. I'm going to share my screen again. What I wanted to show you guys is a couple of tips when you are doing this. So I did this on my Mac, I did it on a Chromebook, and I went next door. God forbid I used a PC. I know you can't believe I did it. But I used a PC. I'm a Mac girl. And these are the screens that I screenshot. I did a screenshot from the PC. This is what it looks like, the warning note from a Mac while using the Mac. These are the screenshots that it looks like when you are using a PC. Basically, it's just like airplaying. You have to make sure that your iPad or iPhone is connected to the same internet. This was Pandora 2 was the name of the internet that I was using. You need to make sure that they're on the same internet, and then you have to sign in to your devices. This was my dad's device. It was Ray Beatty. It was his PC. But I wanted to make sure that we shared those warning screens with you so that if you see them, you know that you are going in the right direction. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, IT is great about fixing those bugs. There have also been bugs from the My Nickels that IT is very quick to work with and fix as well. Other questions? Okay, Ashley, is that it?
At the very bottom, I just included some extra tips for best practices. There's some links included if you just want to kind of browse that at your viewing pleasure. I know that Zoom bombing was a thing for a while and everyone was worried if Zoom was secure, but they've done a lot to help with that. And these are basically tips that you can go through in your account settings just to ensure that your meetings are secure.
And having the password is another good way to secure those Zoom bombings. But yes, their updates have helped that too.
Yep.
That's all things Zoom. Have any questions, y'all? I'm just enjoying my virtual backgrounds. Y'all, they have all kinds. We have the Amazing Race on here. I have Hogwarts. Nemo, I can be swimming in the sea. Okay, well, Pam, I think we are done with that one. And
Sounds good. Yeah, hey, there's a few questions that are coming in. I know you're gonna stay on and do the Ask a Tech Geek, and I think some of these questions may be really good for that segment. And do you want to maybe end the session, and then for the people that want to stay on and ask tech questions, because there are just a lot of those kind of questions I see coming up.
absolutely. And like I said the last time, I do not know all the answers, but if you hit me with a question I don't know, I will find out the answer.
Sounds good. Well, we'll wrap up the session, but if you want to stay on and ask Ashley and Cindy questions, please do so. Thank you. Thanks very much, you guys. That was awesome.
Of course. Okay, there was a question about having students using a whiteboard. So if you're going through Jamboard, remember that's a Google product. So just like Dr. Dempster taught us how you can share a Google document and multiple students can work on a document together. It's the same with Jamboard. So you just share a jam with the students that you want to share it with, and they can log into their Nichols email account, access that jam, and all of them can write on it at the same time. I did have a tip from a brilliant psychology professor that was using Jamboard for annotating papers. Limit the number of students in each jam, because if you have 25 students all trying to annotate one paper on one jam, that's going to be overwhelming. So you can create 4 or 5 jams with the same paper and have groups of students annotate it. Okay, more questions. I have not used a Surface, Sherry. And again, the green bed sheet from Walmart for $10 worked really well, y'all, duct taped up. Yep, Claire, that's awesome. Yes, you can upload anything to Jamboard, PDF, Word document, PowerPoint, worksheets, anything, and all of the students can annotate on it with you in real time, and you can be on a Zoom or something like this and be talking through it at the same time. Jamboard, I think I said at the very beginning, if I have 3 pieces of technology that you need to have in your arsenal right now, it's Zoom, screencasting, and Google tools. And Jamboard is one of those Google tools that can really make a difference. Anybody else?
I would say the upside of using Jamboard over the whiteboard feature in Zoom is that the Jamboard is saved. So your students can go back and view it. Whereas as soon as you log out of your Zoom session, if it's not recording, they're not going to be able to go look at the whiteboard, right?
Actually, I think they may have changed that, because I did one with my student last night and it looked, I have it set where the whiteboard saves as PDF files. So it does
really?
look like it's saving to my computer, but I would still have to upload it and put it in Google or Moodle or something like
Right.
that, where
Yeah.
the Jamboard would probably be a little bit easier. But that, I didn't remember that setting from the spring, but I was playing around with some stuff the other day and I saw that setting and everything saved when we ended the session.
Oh, okay.
Zoom has come a long way in the last few months, guys. When we started using Zoom before the pandemic, it was great for meetings like this. But the whiteboard, the plug and play, all of these integrations, I'm really impressed with Zoom so far. And they keep updating. It seems like every week or so they ask me to update, and you never know what kind of new toys they'll get for us. Anybody else? For virtual backgrounds, the only option is to add an image. Is there a setting that needs to be turned on to add video? Mine allows me to add a video. I wonder if it's, so I'm going to Zoom and preferences. Again, I can't show you that. And I go to virtual background and there is a plus button. When I do the plus, it says add image or add video. I'm not sure if it's the type of device you're on. Do you have to explicitly turn on, off the anonymous option when polling? Ashley, you want to take that one?
Wait, do you have to explicitly turn? I think you have to click anonymous if you do want it to be anonymous. Otherwise, it's going to collect the respondent's information.
Right. And respondents' information, that's what they choose to tell you. So right now, if I hover over Dr. Terrio's picture, it says Allison Terrio because that's what she chose to put in there. If I go over another person, it might just say Diane, or it might say NSU Mac. So it's whatever the students chose their Zoom name to be will be in the polling. For virtual backgrounds, is there a chalkboard one? I tried to be fancy and type a list of agenda items for a meeting and it showed up backwards. Is there a fix? No, because when you're doing Zoom backgrounds, they're going to be mirror images. So yeah, you would have to click that mirror image. Is there any way for Zoom participants to if the polling is anonymous? In that case, I'm not understanding that question. Is there any way for Zoom participants to tell if the polling is anonymous? I don't know. I don't know. Do they see if we click the anonymous? I'm not sure. I'll
Not sure.
for you. I'll write that down and find that out and put it on the blackboard. See, I told y'all y'all would stump us,
Mm-hmm.
but I will find out. Awesome, guys. Okay. There's no other questions. We'll be on Moodle for y'all, and y'all have my email and my cell phone. Please never hesitate to reach out if we can be of help. Okay? Y'all have a great day. Bye.